How's it going, everyone? Toasty here with another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. Today we're going to be discussing the new INT Rose that just dropped and whether or not you should be using him instead of the recently Extreme Z awakened AGL Rose. Before we get started, like always, any and all websites used in the creation of this video will be linked in the description below. Now let's get started. The way we're going to be going about this is by doing a comparison of their abilities and performance on an extreme-based time traveler's team. The only card changing in either test being the Rose himself. So starting off with AGL Rose, as he did release first, we're gonna go over his Extreme Z Awakened card details real fast and then move on to the LR Rose right after. We're not gonna compare their leader skills because that's just outright unfair, as the new Rose is a category leader and AGL Rose isn't. So the Extreme Z Awakened Rose greatly raises defense by 50%, causes immense damage, and greatly lowers enemy defense by 50% for 3 turns on super. His passive gives attack plus 100%, plus extreme class ki plus 3, and attack plus 30% at the start of the turn. He also gains an additional defense plus 30% for every attack received, stacking up to a total plus 180% defense. Overall, AGL Rose has a lot going for him and is definitely a top pick for extreme-oriented teams. His immense multiplier means we'll be seeing him doing some pretty good damage, especially if you have him at SA 15, but where he really shines is in the defense department. His defense buff on super, plus the stacking defense he has in his passive skill, gives him some pretty impressive tanking potential. As far as links go, all of the Goku Black and Zamasu cards are pretty similar when it comes to their link sets, but we'll cover them anyway since there is a difference between these two. Agility Rose has 3 attack links, those being Super Saiyan, Fierce Battle, and Nightmare. 3 key links, Dismal Future, Prepared for Battle, and Fear and Faith, with the nice addition of Big Bad Bosses, which gives attack and defense plus 25% when HP is 80% or below. Overall, he has a real solid link set, and relative to the teams we'll be running him on today, his link set is near perfect. The only blemish being the Super Saiyan link, since the only card on the team that's going to be activating this link would be INT Black once he's transformed. Or the super type cards in the category, but those don't really have very good chemistry with any of the Goku Black or Zamasu cards. Moving on to the LR INT Rose, who has a 12 key super that greatly raises defense by 50% for 1 turn and causes colossal damage to the enemy, and an 18 key super with the same defense buff of 50% for 1 turn and causes mega colossal damage. His passive ability gives attack and defense plus 66%, plus an additional attack plus 6% each time his key rises. This stacks up to an additional 120% attack. He also gains an additional ki plus 2 for every final blow delivered up to an additional 6 ki, and recovers 6% of your total HP at the end of the turn if he received an attack in that turn. His active skill puts him into a rage state that lasts 1 turn, and in this state he gains 1 ki for every ki sphere obtained, and his attacks become super effective to all types. He has 4 attack links, Super Saiyan, Kamehameha, Fierce Battle, and Legendary Power, 2 key links, Dismal Future and Fear and Faith, and the Big Bad Bosses link. The drop in key links compared to the AGL Rose is somewhat made up for by the ki gained using his passive skill, and overall we can definitely see that this card has a pretty heavy emphasis on dealing damage, but that doesn't mean he can't take a hit. On paper, the Extreme Z Awakened AGL Rose should be doing better in the defense department, as well as having the slightly better link set and more team-friendly passive skill. The LR Rose, on the other hand, is built more for doing high damage in a somewhat self-sufficient manner. He will be able to take hits pretty well, but without the insane stacking defense that AGL Rose has, I doubt he has the same tanking potential. Now, to put the theory into practice, we're going to be taking both of these into a couple of events each and seeing how they perform while on the exact same team. As for the team I'll be using, I'm going to be running them under the Transforming INT Goku Black, who leads the Time Travelers category with a 3 key, 150% boost to all stats leader skill. This is the team they'll be run under, and I'm going to try to get them both on the same rotations with their passive stacked up to try and make the comparison a little more fair. That being said, the only restriction I'm going to be setting for this is keeping LR Rose out of his rage state, so I won't be activating his active skill in any of the runs. Without further ado, let's go ahead and test them out. After testing out both versions of Rose on the same set of events, while also being on the same team, I gotta say I'm pretty impressed with EZA Rose. His defense is pretty much unparalleled on this team. My copy of EZA Rose is 100% in the hidden potential system, while my LR Rose is just at 55%, but even then we can see that LR Rose, even while his passive isn't fully built up, didn't have too much trouble keeping up the damage numbers and easily surpassing AGL Rose's damage once his passive really gets going. If you're going to take anything from this, it's that neither of these is the definitive better version of the card by any means. EZA Rose wins the defense game hands down, being able to eat super attacks like nobody's business after taking only a few hits. LR Rose is the clear winner when it comes to offense, so if you happen to have both of these cards and you're trying to slot them into your team, just take whichever your team needs more. If your team's lacking defense, take EZA Rose. If you're lacking high damage output, then you take the LR Rose. That's going to be it for me today. Before I close this one out, I want to say that this will be my final upload for a little while, as my equipment needs to be put away at this point, so I won't be posting for some time, but I'll be back in the latter half of the first week of August. So if you enjoyed the video, please like, share, and comment below what you would like to see next. If you didn't enjoy the video, go ahead and dislike and let me know what you think could be done better moving forward, but for now, it's been a pleasure, and I'll see you next time.